Hello. Today I'll be doing something a little different. I'm going to rank every single character from the Sims handheld games for some reason. You know, I'm obsessed with these games and the characters that live in them. The My Green Diamond games. Arpu, well, she exists in every universe. We know enough about this slag, but I know you're all asking, what are the Softy's opinions of these weird little people inside my Game Boy Advance SP? SP cause I'm cool. I'll only be ranking the Game Boy Advance characters, so Bustin Out, Urbz and The Sims 2. However, I'm going to use the Urbz DS game and the Sims 2 DS because they basically have the same characters, but a bit more lore. I want to be thorough. You know what I mean? PSP, Sims 2, not you, love. I'll be focusing on a term coined by this random website, the Giuseppe Sims, as he appears in all of these games. Obviously, I won't be talking about the Sims 2 pets for Game Boy Advance. So, sorry to the one fan of the Sims 2 pets for Game Boy Advance. All those people were kinda horrid. Also, they're like 3 different versions of, say, Daddy Big Bucks. I have an opinion on all different versions of that bloke, so I'm going to rank the characters that appear in the different games all individually. Why? Because it's my video. Yeah. The ranking categories consist of the top tier, aptly named proper good in it, to the bottom tier, that is of course abysmal. Disclaimer, spoilers for everything ever made in the world, and also warning, opinions will be present in this video, so soz if I hate your boyfriend, you can keep him. So without any further ado, on with this something. I will begin at the beginning with The Sims Bustin Out Game Boy Advance, the first title in the Sims handheld series. We are in Sim Valley and we are having a good time, and there are a load of people inside on my Game Boy Advance. SP, of course SP, because I'm cool. I will continue with the beginning theme and begin at the beginning. Uncle Hayseed, what a twat. I kinda hate this man. Yeah, helps us onto our fate, but soon after tells us to frig off. So you can make the barn into like an Airbnb or something. Telling me my holiday's over. Holiday's over when I say, love. Abysmal actions. And then at the end, he tells me he found me in a bloody field or something. And I've got to go, even though I don't want to. The only interesting thing that he's done is scream. And then he like fell out with me for no reason. Grow up, love. Abysmal. Bringing me on to our Giuseppe, the man himself, always helping me move and stuff, opening the steam tunnels for little old me. You never see anyone else down there, do you? Only me, wandering around with my secret chairs. He sells stuff out of his van in the wee hours, and we say stuff to him, for example, I find danger sexy, and did you have an unhappy childhood? But one thing I will always regret when playing The Sims Bustin Out is getting him arrested. I'm sorry, my love, I have failed you. You should have got rid of that stinking creepy uncle. But I've always wanted to kiss a convict. Proper good in it, love. Speaking of convicts, this brings me on to Sim Valley as a policeman. Plod or something. Hello, hello, hello. Detective Dandy Man, with this exaggerated jawline, as the ladies may say. Four. I don't know, we discover that his sister was killed by the Velocirooster, or as some may say, the killer cock. He's dedicated his life to catching the cheeky bastard. When we open Club Rub, because the owner didn't pay taxes, he mentions that he can't abide a lawbreaker, no matter how much the people love to boogie. Which is funny, innit? And he pulls his face when he's feeling cheeky. But after I caught the flaming Velocirooster and gave it to him, nothing, just a thanks. Boring twat. Talk of the Velocirooster brings me on to Nora Zealot, PC Plod's niece, mother dead from said Velocirooster, Fran Fu Farawa. Oh, I don't care how you say that. Nora Zealot, Miss Sim Valley, 3 years running, and candidate for the Assistant Associate Treasurer in this year's election. Detective Dan kind of forces us to be Nora Zealot's mate, but he needn't. I bloody love her and her stupid facial expressions. She's a funny gal. A proper good one. Speaking of funny facial expressions, is this bitch, Hester Prim. Hester Prim and proper, as she is self-appointed manners and etiquette guru. I'm sure last time I played this game, I hated her. But you know what? Her fucking voice is so funny. She kind of reminds me of someone. Like, I bet you could cosplay her and you could do a really funny voice for her, couldn't you? Yeah, if I'm sad, I think of your face, love. Proper good, innit? Speaking of weird faces, is this angry bloke that I accidentally got to live with me and I accidentally kissed him and stuff. I didn't mean it, I swear. Vernon Peeve. He's like weird. He's like B-Tech Tank Grunt. And his bio is like, he's been working at the same company, at the same desk, same pay for 30 years. Yes, he's angry. So he's almost 50. The quintessential wage cook. SMH. Like, everything we talk about is work related. Get a life. You gave me the ick. Another ickable fella is a Dashel Swank. He's Vernon Peeve but blonde. Look at them next to each other. He's Vernon Peeve but blonde. A Dashel Swank, more like a jammy dodger and a wank. Oh my god, I spent ages painting him a twatting picky only for me to die and it disappear. Frig off. The only interesting and helpful thing he does is be the uni professor, but that's in the Urbz. He does nothing for me here. Oh wait, we can say to him, if you're doing any nude painting, I'll volunteer. But that's me saying that, I'm the funny one. Got the ick, love. Dusty Hog, on the other hand, where we first encounter the man, the myth, the legend. We help him by finding his helmet, fixing up his bike, and pulling pints in the local. Pints of milkshake. Oh my god, he just ordered a giant glass of milk. But you know what? It's always fun to flirt with this fella. Like, he says stuff and does that giggle. And then if you piss him off enough, he like just fucking punches you. How cool's that? I attempted to piss off a few other residents, but only Dusty Hog fucking punches you for being annoying. Proper good, innit? But a resident who does punch you, mad, will he hurt you? Hello, human resources. This is my first video on Instagram. I'm not wearing a shirt, it's a shirtless gem, oh yeah. Woo! Where's your top, love? You know, I'm not even going to be arsed getting to know the twat. It looks like every toxic man mixed together in one person. He's fucking mad Willy hurts you. He likes craft beers and doing other stuff like beating our poo up. Abysmal. He's definitely not the strongest, handsomest and most buffed up beefcake the world has ever seen. But Eddie Renelin is. You know, he ain't anything special, but I'm partial to being strong. He's a cool character from his funny name. And me sitting there like a degenerate. My sister's like, who are you kissing? And I'm like, I'm gonna kiss your bicep. Proper good, innit? But a lot of the characters' sprites look the same if they're like roommateable. Is that a word? Lottie Cash, Dwayne Doldrum, Melodious, and Claire Clutterbell. They're all fucking boring. I've got nothing at all to say about them, good or bad. Except Melodious. Do you get it? Melodious. Kinda looks like that celebrity who was in Sex and the City. But he's so bloody boring, I don't care enough to search what his name is. And the only thing interesting about Claire Clutterbell is that she introduces us to Ephraim Earl. What a king though. Driven to near madness by almost 2 centuries of lonely wanderings and just him haunting the haunted shack. Well, he's got her because it's called the haunted shack and he's a ghost. Pooh returns his urn and solves his riddles. Why are ghosts like that? Oh, I'm a ghost. You fancy solving this shite I just made up? Why do ghosts do that, you know? And this lovely bloke, he says I can have everything he owns. I couldn't be arsed trying to be mates with him though, because it weren't just mashing the A button. Like, he hates most stuff, so I just leave him be. But like a bloody ghoul, you gotta be top tier. The roommateable characters whose sprites are a bit more unique are firstly, Maximilian Moore. Proud, courageous and rather annoying head surgeon at Sim Valley General Hossie. And because I love this fella from the Urbz, it was kind of a downgrade. So, like, the only interesting thing about him is that he ran Club Rub, but he couldn't be arsed paying taxes. So, you're a boring twat, you are. The final roommateable character is Vera Vex, lead singer of local band The Germinators. She's a cool gal. We get to play a rhythm game because of her. She's kind of like a goth, but the kind of goth that your nan would accept, do you know what I mean? But yeah, she's not got much going on, but a bit more interest than the others, because she looks different. The only thing that I will say, I'll take it with a pinch of salt. She's the reason that our Giuseppe got arrested, so cool within reason. Now they're out the way, time for the rest of the signature NPCs. Firstly starting with Bucky Brock, an athlete determined to take the mechie bull riding to its absolute limit. She's cool, I like her design, she doesn't do much except hot chip and lie. She's got a lot of potential, but anyway, she looks cool and she's got that country cafe music, so she's cool. Cheddar Chase, a celebrity chef, touring with his telly show. Master Chef. But you know what? As a garlicky girly myself, you know what makes him cool? This one interaction. You wouldn't mind a garlicky kiss, would you? Kibble. Daddy Big Bucks, old money patriarch of Sim Valley. He owns half the town. He also enjoys conversations about himself. He's a sweet old man in this version. Well, I say sweet, he's like proper rich. There's some sort of exploitation of someone going on, isn't there? Probably Arpo. We compete in a triathlon for him, where he says, I don't want you looking flabby. Bit rude. But I guess he does rent his summer mansion to me, and we're like busy mates and stuff. And he wants me to hire me as a jester. But he's kind of boring. Like, get more evil. Our first encounter with Misty Waters is here in Sim Valley as the local lifeguard. I like our Misty, she's cool. But we have to make her hate us so we can be part of the Looney Lemmings Club. And I don't like her. Sorry, Misty. I didn't mean it. Swimming is good fun exercise, innit, love? Owner of Nicky Knack's Bric-a-Brac, Nicky Knack, the shop that sells shite in Sim Valley. Phoebe Twiddle is chilling here. We rent her waterfront villa, which is just lovely. She doesn't really do much, but I think she had a lot of potential as a character. Alas, she looks cool, so cool she will be. Someone who's not cool though, very, very abysmal in fact, is Phil McLean, some fisherman. Whoa, fishy! He is such a miserable twat, and I made the mistake of maxing out our friendship, forgetting that he's a bastard who we must make hate us. Oh my gosh, I hate this man. I might accidentally like push him in the water or something. The twat. Look at the state of him. Abysmal. Another fishyman is our old Salty, or Salty Sam as he's often referred to. A confused and crazy ex-captain. I struggled to become friends with him. Also, he was my test subject to see if any other Sims were like capable of punching me, but I'm used to Urbz old Salty. Maybe I'm biased, but this old Salty's kind of boring. And also his face is kind of like Mad Willie's, innit? You're a bit shy, ain't you, love? Boring. So that's Sims Bustin Out. I think with this game, it's not the NPC reactions that are the stars of the show, it's the unhinged shite that Arpo says to them. It's insane. The Urbz, Sims in the City is the second handheld Sims game released and serves as a sequel to the Sims Bustin Out. Look at our rocket, we're now in Minneapolis, having a good time with some new and familiar faces. The first face being a beautiful new one, lesbian icon, our Chris Thistle, janitor of King Tower and member of the rep group, the Streeties, a proper working class gal. The Northerners claim her. She says, "Pooh, you're fired," with a pissing smile, and if that ain't a serve, I don't know what is. This grafter do scrub up well, look at her in this stunning gown. Look at her, she's even sweeping the pissing pictures. Top tier for this icon. Before inevitably being jailed, we have a run-in with our Daddy B. I have been a very naughty person. Although I put him in the boring category earlier, I have to say, you sir are promoted to the top tier for being the main antagonist of this here game. What happened to him between his time in Sim Valley as a rich boring twat and here, trying to gentrify Minneapolis? He certainly did get more evil. From attempting to kill our Pooh, making running illegal, to travelling back centuries to claim Minneapolis before anyone else did, only for us to mess it up for him and him to end up sobbing on Nutria Island with our Lloyd. I'm surprised he even wanted us anywhere near him after that, never mind be the star of his show in The Sims 2. And also him having a slight existential crisis when we ask him about hobbies. Nevertheless, Daddy Big Bucks, his lore is deep. What a cool character. Now who drags us off to jail but our detective Dandy Man. Much plumper now than he was in Sim Valley. He must be happy in a relation— oh no, we can flirt with him. And it really looks like I'm walking down the stairs. After thanking him for rescuing us, we are allowed out because we're mates now. We help him with delivering bugged briefcases. Wait, can I give it to him unbugged? Nah. Delivering a bugged briefcase. I'm Detective Dandy Pooh now. Hell yeah. And if we're super besties, he tells me of this secret passage behind a Misty Waters poster. Sure wank redemption in it. Yeah, you're a cool fella. I bought a property in Egypt, and what they do for you is they give you the property. After that debacle, we run into the residents of Urbania, such as Supernova. Get it, Supernova, because she is a star looker. A nerd too. I remember my last playthrough. I really hated this woman because I couldn't befriend her for some reason. She's like, "Are you coming to class?" "Love, I've never met you before." But I guess she gets me into uni. BA Ons 2, I got a 2-1 or something. Yeah. A woman of many talents playing Lily Gates on the big stage. She does a funny dance to making a pissing time machine to save Minneapolis. But even all that for me ain't enough to take her out the abysmal category. I do be holding a grudge. Whilst working hard to get into university, we run into yet another familiar face from Sim Valley. Maximilian Moore, yet another member of the nerdies, a handsome hypochondriac who's only interested in me when he wants something like tickets to some premiere party because he thinks I'm mates with the big man, the big bucks. I'm not, we're enemies, aren't we? But fine, I'll do it for you. Look at that smile. Aww. Our next run-in is with Phoebe Twiddle, the non-interactable NPC from Nicky Nack's shop. She has barely any screen time. She's alright, she cares about the environment and stuff, and it's speculated that her boyfriend is my awful uncle. CBI though, she's so pretty too. Pretty boring. However, Phoebe, she did call Cannonball Coleman a lame-o. She called him a lame-o, so he befriended him to spite her, an artsy fella strutting around various places in town with his saxophone. We finished the lyrics to his song, Strolling Urbania. Wait, I wonder if it has a tune. Strolling Urbania, moon on the bricks, adults on the scene, kids eaten by ticks. Suddenly, we're live at the Apollo, baby. Why does this minigame remind me of Come Dine With Me? Also, we're on guard at a random gig he's playing. no Richie's allowed. Alright, you can fuck off now. But he's a cool guy. It's nice to quote a song. Stroll in Albania, moon on the bricks, and hearing Cannonball Coleman up to his old tricks. He's the coolest cat in town, baby. The next mission finds us talking to a very familiar face, Dusty Hog. I may be biased because I grew up with this game, but this is my favourite Dusty Hog design. Look at that face when you flirt with him. Ooh. Much of him being in this game is him chilling in the chopper garage, where we're tasked with helping him build a racetrack in Albania. Racing him on the track so he'll like build the Sizzle factory, and dressing up as Daddy B. He also makes an appearance at the premiere party in his bib and tucker, sporting a white bandana. Oh, just lovely. All I said last time and more. Proper good in it. Dusty opened the garage with his mate. Ewan, what are me? What are me? What are you? A streety construction worker who makes us feed him lunch for 3 days. I can't be arsed, mate. Mama, feed me. No. He jumps on this chair really coolly. He takes my Chris Thistle on a date, then makes me pay him 10,000 simoleons. Oh, and his cousin is Sue. Of course it is. I mean, the stuff that he talks about is deep and sensitive, and sometimes he sheds a tear. We get it. You're fit. You're just a bit boring, Saz. We then run into Berkeley Clod, the bloke with a feather in the hat. Proper good in it. Like, his design's so cool. I used to really hate this bloke. I've grown rather fond of him, especially paying attention to all his dialogue, talking about rep groups. I couldn't care less about those haughty cliques. Why, do they say anything about me? And when you compliment him, you know, on dry days I can pull my hair so far back that all my wrinkles disappear. I think I hated him because I used to think that he'd give you like 250 simoleons to like replace your stolen bog, but no, we wanted shrunken heads. Then he gives us a hoverboard, like thanks, and he's involved in some sort of crime ring. But when he really gets to shine is in Splicer Island, where he locks himself in the lab basement, where he says to me, just because you rid the town of Daddy Big Bucks doesn't mean I can't stir up a little more trouble. He collapses as he has created the most amazing creature, Winky Wee Bucks. Nice one, fella. You didn't stop me. You didn't put your heart in it. This is fantastic. Whilst Pooh is like, what the hell are we going to do? Berkeley's like, I think I'll tell you 3 stories. It all began when I was a child. Fucking stellar, mate. Speaking of his creation, Winky Wee Bucks, Daddy B's other son. I love him. It may be brief, but first impressions last a lifetime. The dancing Nutria army. Proper good in it. Back to the story at hand. We encounter Lottie Cash, a familiar face from Bustin' Out, where I briefly mentioned her because she won't proper Lottie Cash. Lottie Cash, get it because lot of cash. Get it because of money. I struggled to befriend her in this playthrough for some reason. Can't be arsed. She may be a Richie, but she works in a coffee shop. We love a humble queen. She greets us with a colloquial, oh me gosh, a Prudence fave. Apparently seeing us at Club Zizzle. Now, love, I'm too busy telling jokes. I want to go to Club Zizzle, please. Please. But that's all we see of her. She's cool, but I just wish we had more. Lottie tells me to impress Crystal because her parents own the place. I guess she's called, like, Crystal Zizzle or something. Oh wait, no, just plain Crystal because all the Mega Divas have just one name. Okay. So we must take our Crystal out on the town and she'll always join us on that dance machine. She's a cool gal. I don't know why I thought she was in it more though. Our final mission of this section is where we encounter outspoken, firebranded social activist Grandma Hattie. We have to prove ourselves to her. We engage in a protest, making Daddy B furious. We're just like Grandma Hattie's general dog's body. Like, now we're a bodyguard for her, but she repays me for leading the way out of the mausoleum into Simquarter graveyard. Also love that when running's illegal, she's just chilling in jail. What you playing at? Police officer man. What you playing at? Let her out. And all the shite that we talk about to her, they really wrote her reactions so well. I love her. What an amazing character. And she says, all we need in this world is a place to eat, sleep and hang our funny paintings. She's so right. Top tier queen. Now one can access Simquarter, where Detective Dandyman hires Detective Dandy Poo to him blues at Magoo Monkey. Soon after, we are approached by an ever so familiar face, our Giuseppe. Ever since he got out of Sim Valley Slammer, He's tried his darndest to forget his past. This is my favourite Giuseppe, an avid collector of still life paintings and sculptures, and whose papa made the world's greatest tiramisu. We initially led to believe that he's in cahoots with Daddy B and Berkeley Clod, but at the end of the game we ask him what date Daddy B travelled to. He kinda gets offended. Working for him, more like double-crossed him. I worked for Detective Dandy Man. Love, I'm reformed. Reform? He says, 1870 or bust. For the sake of our lovely town, I hope to see you again. We'll meet again. Proper good, innit? In our next mission, we have to befriend Queen of the Nerdies. Polynomial. Abysmal. I hate you. You are a bitch. She embarrassed me in front of 30,000 viewers. You'll always be polynomial to me, you slag. Apologies for this tangent. I did not do maths A-level. I did shitly in philosophy and archaeology. Most of these words I'm pronouncing as a 10-year-old. I've never said these words out loud. I digress. I hate you, polynomial bitch. But for real, I was focusing on what she was saying. She's really boring. It's all like nerd talk. Shut up. Like, she doesn't even like a good gossip. When you tell her a secret, she's like,
well, I'm flattered you have taken me into your confidence so lactastically.
Love, I'm telling you, I pick my nose, you silly sod. I ask her to quote, tell it to me straight, sister, or with a H. And she's like,
we don't have that kind of rapport.
I need to show her that I'm a person with integrity. So I tell her she's pretty, and then she's spilling the tea about Daddy B's secret basey. Pathetic. Person of integrity, my arse. Abysmal. Following that, we be guarding the graveyard. As mentioned earlier, we've come across Darius saying shite. I realise I have hearts in the background. I guess I spoke to him before this. Oh, you caught me. Oh yes, we chatted about rep groups. And I guess he is the face, as it were, of the Urbz. He's also in the console game with William from the Black Eyed Peas. There's also a comic where he's the eyes at the doors of Club Zizzle. And in the GameCube version of the Urbz, we can find Darius's outfit if you're a fella. But you know what? I used to think he was cool, but all he gives you is like one-word answers, like an uninterested husband. Like, he's kind of boring. I've gone off him a bit. He's cool, but he's a bit boring. Soz. Daddy Big Bucks' son, King of the Richies. We meet him when we are being a bouncer for Cannonball Coleman. Jog on, mate. But now he wants us to help him reopen the museum. Ask your dad, fella. But he's like, Daddy shoots down all my ideas. Wait, he kind of looks like Stewie Griffin. Also the scar. Where'd you get your scar from, eh? Wait, he really is 18 in 2 years. Bloody hell. Anyway, he's a cool guy. Interesting fella. For the museum, we must find a curator. Roxana Moxie outsources a curator, but Roxana Moxie, the queen of the artsies, ringmaster of the carnival, and a cool, beautiful woman. She doesn't have much screen time apart from us helping her get the carnival ready, getting her dancing nutria, giving her a load of money, and finding a tightrope walker. In the GameCube version of the Urbz, just like Darius, we can get her outfit. If you're a lassie. Fanny if you're a lassie. Out of the GameCube closet. Other than that, I don't have much to say about her, but she's cool. The tightrope walker at the carnival being Misty Waters. Our Misty. My favourite Misty. With her own state-of-the-art fitness centre. Girl. It's a treadmill in the middle of the room. She doesn't have a big role in this game, but I did listen to what she had to say. It's all about exercise and people being, quote, flabby. It's kind of boring. A little bit toxic as well, like those presenters in the 2000s. But you know what? I love her. And she's so beautiful, so she's cool. Our next mission is triggered by the queen that is Mambo Lower, where we must stop Daddy B from purchasing Old Salty's riverboat by cosplaying as Peppa Pete, Old Salty's brother, which is a cool task in itself. Mambo Lower is such an amazing character, a sim who knows much about the occult. When talking to her, she gives us insight into other sims. For example, she gives us tips about how to talk to Ephraim Earl. Talk only of your interests, lest he get angry. Or, he who presented himself on the small screen will soon return to atone for his actions. Harlan King. Like, it's all really cool. She features in the PSP version of The Sims 2 also. So after getting me dressed up into my Peppa Pig get-up, I'm thrown into the water, so thanks for that, love, I guess. And she tells us how to cure vampirism. Vampirism? Oh, honey, there's no need to be ashamed. It happens to the best of us. It's not me, though. It's not for me. Anyway, top tier queen. As I mentioned before, we cosplay Old Salty's brother. As Peppa Pete has gone missing, Old Salty has had to take over the riverboat, meaning he's moved from Sim Valley to Minneapolis. Sometimes we see him having a cheeky boogie and Club Zizzle, and for some reason, Old Salty is the only one who can understand our pet saying roar in the Splicer Island chapter. Maybe he's a scene kid, but I love him. He's a cool bloke. He said he had to work 27 hours a day. Bloody hell, cool. After being thrown off the edge of the riverboat, we end up in the bayou, confronted by the brothers Bayou Boo and Crawdad Clem, scratching the bellies. Have they got hairy arms? Initially, we have to prove to Clem we're not a vampire. Give him a locket of his mother, Bogland Bessie. We obtained weird. I mean, the stuff they talk about is kind of weird, and they both kind of give me the ick. Clem more so. I prefer Boo, mainly because of the vampire lore. Look at his sprite. Where'd you get the cape from? When we initially talk to him, all he says is, "By gosh golly, that sure sounds swell," about everything. You like teeth this colour? But once we feed him Jockey, you can't shut him up. Oh, you put 50p in, Boo. Okay. Anyway, I don't like romancing these two. Am I taking advantage of them, or are they taking advantage of me? I just avoid it. But I like Boo a little more than Clem. But nevertheless, they're both in the ick. Once back on dry land, we eventually happen upon Teresa Bullhorn, an artsy who runs the theatre. She was the creator of the satirical stage show that made Daddy B mad. There's something severely wrong with this stage though. I mean, she's a little boring, but the fact she made the play makes it kinda cool. Our next mission finds us on Paradise Island, competing on Love Island. I got a text. I've never watched that show. Hosted by who else but Maya Pritchard Locksley, seasoned thespian and wandering bard. He's like Trevor from My Sims if he served. Yet another member of the artsies. Why the explorer hat? Anyway, I don't think I used to like this bloke, but he's grown on me. From talking about his sexy smile to working temporarily as a waiter. Yeah, I love this man, he's cool. Whilst on Paradise Island, we run into fellow contestant, bloody Lincoln broadsheet. Get it, 'cause newspaper. Member of the Nerdies, establishing the Minneapolis Chronicle 25 years ago. Oh, you don't look old enough. But this fella's got a daughter. He's often found in the Minneapolis Chronicle building. A wheelchair-accessible building, may I add. A disabled character in 2005. We love to see it. He doesn't really have much of a role in this game, which is sad. I didn't even realise we needed to be his mate to use his compy. Oh, whoops. But he's another character just like Mambo Lower who features in the PSV version of The Sims 2. What a cool guy. I like him. Soon after, we're captured by Heidi Shadows and put in a cage with who else but pissing Harlan King, doddering old fool, who we first encounter as a hologram. It's all his fault. Selling the building to Daddy B. A hater of gossip, but all the stuff he says is about random characters. Like, you hate gossip, but here you are, chatting shite, you hypocrite. And the next time we encounter him is him waiting outside the cinema for me, like, where have you been? Frig off. You're not my dad. He's a right knobhead, and I got the ick. Our date, Maxie Moore wanted the tickets to the premiere, so we have to schmooze full-time bitch Lily Gates, the final member of the Richies and Daddy B's attorney. I really struggled to be mates with her in this playthrough, but we're tasked with being popular and mates with her. I was on the struggle bus, loves. And look closely here, she doesn't charge me for the tickets. Thank you kindly. I don't know. I love her character design, her personality, and the fact she's workaholic. She's in the cool category. When we inevitably travel back in time, we encounter a familiar face from our old haunt, Sim Valley. But he is alive and looking very vibrant, may I add. He rids the land of Daddy's flag and tells us he's gonna guard it with his life. The wait may drive me crazy, but it will have been for a good cause. When we speak to him about the river, he's like, I held the flag, I waited there, where were you? I'm sorry. Oh, I love him so much though. We can only talk to him about stuff like, you know, stuff. Not like, oh, cheer up, mate, it might never happen. So unlike Busting Out, you can just spam A and your besties. He's mostly found in the mausoleum, the graveyard, but you know, he's partial to having a little boogie in Club Zizzle. Because being dead don't mean you can't have a laugh. Being dead don't mean you can't have a laugh. But you know what? I love his facial expressions, his personality. His little sprite, his eyeballs pop out. And not forgetting, he's the guy who saved the day. Top tier fella right there. Now I've spoken about all the Game Boy Advance characters, it's now on to the DS exclusive ones. Starting with this strange bloke, Moki, greeting us with a "Can you spare me a simoleon? Or 10? 300,000. We give him one and he's like, have you got a gene splice? Even his description says he's a cool guy, so, you know, he must be. Initially, he's just wobbling around Urbania, and when we get to chatting, he's got some of the most intriguing and quite terrifying facial expressions. Unlike when we offer him a job, he's like, oh yeah, I just recently quit my job. Oh wait, that was 8 years ago. And when asking for proof, he tells us he has some glasses and a lab coat. Get me a shower and I'll prove it to you. He's all excited for the shower. He's not felt hot water on him since Lottie spat on him last August. And what we witness in Urbania jail is just amazing. Hey, can I have that food? But this is Moki's downfall. He then becomes Dr. Mauricio Keys. I kinda hate him. I got the egg. Moki is top tier, and the other fella, well, he's abysmal. After giving Moki a corn dog, he tells us to chat up Sharona faster to take us to Splicer Island. And that I do. My Sharona in it. All she does is drive the water taxi. She's worse than boring. Ickable. Departing Sharona Faster's vessel onto Splicer Island, we run into Futomaki, who's been living on the land after Daddy B forgot about him. But he wants to make Splicer Island happen, so after giving him the plans, I found a wad of money and befriending a monkey and making it become one of his workers. He tells me to frig off and come back in 10 days. 2 hours. 2 hours it took for Splicer Island to reopen. I'm not even asked what you've got to say. Not interested in you. Look at what you've done to Pooh. In the hozzy. Boring twat you are. Anyway, Futo instructs us to hire our workers. Obviously, Evil Moki as the scientist. Ent's manager, Buster Cruz, whose regular haunt is Crawfish Shack's bog for some reason. Maybe he thought it was the Icelandic punk museum. But anyway, I can't remember if I liked this bloke last time. But this fella is clearly British. Hello. If you ain't one of those uppity posh gits, then you and I will get on fine. He calls us a daft git. I don't know. I think whoever wrote this character did a very good job. He fits into the Urbz really well, unlike most of the DS exclusive characters. The only person who can understand Ephraim Earl's talkings is quite a feat, talking about zines, saying Sid stole his dance, the pogo, bangers and mash. I fought the law and the law won. My favourite line is, "It's bleeding hot in this black jacket, but it's my only means of rebellion around here." Maybe a tad stereotypical, but I love him. He's kind of fit on the scratch card too. Proper good in it. Another bloke we employ is Jack Ideal, a smoothie man. He's alright. He's kind of stupid, but overall kind of boring. I couldn't be arsed talking to him, not gonna lie. He worked for Daddy B. Yeah, you're boring. Then we head to the part we're all waiting for, the gene splicing, where we meet Cynthia Braintrust, who's a weird woman. She's kind of obsessed with animals. It's kind of boring, and I couldn't find her to talk to her once the game ended. I'm not even joking, look, the lab is barren. Barren! But the only thing that puts her in the cool category is the fact that she's rumoured to have created our Lloyd when talking to her about the bio. Now, to force our creation to perform, we must bring along other contestants. So come on, Cynthia, love. Maxie Moore and Gary Geezer. His only role in this whole game. This bloke, I put him in boring by accident, but I didn't get to speak to him properly. He's hilarious. Being a geezer and just talking complete bollocks. Like when we're talking about the carnival, he's like, "Sure, I'm a carnivore." Wait, I think he's from Yorkshire, isn't he? Sure, I'm a carnivore. I don't take no truck when the vegetarians ain't natural. Singing a song when talking about the law and telling him a secret, he's like, hee, that tickles my ear. He's hilarious. I love him. I was going to put him in the cool, but you know what? You're promoted to proper good in it. Initially, my pet was cock. I weren't happy, so I tried again. I had an exemplary sample. What the hell? I'm amazing. Doing this in the wee hours. Then my dog looked at me weird. I got distracted. I was missing all those DNA analysis things. It ended up being useless. My bloody dog. What are you looking at, mate? Well, one thing leads to another and I've ended up with little bollock again. Oh, bless him though. He's always there for me when I need him. Top tier lad. The little guy won the compy, saved Minneapolis from Winky Wee Books, and he's like,
Hi, Paulie. I'm really bummed out.
Little bollock gives the whole strolling through Urbania song a whole new vibe. Little dino against the world. Anyway, honourable mention, Pepper Pete, Heidi Shadows, Dashel Swank, having a wank, and our beloved Lloyd. Look, I'll always have MP Zizzle and Oppie Alfred in my house if I can. Hey, that person who commented, hey look here, I got it. The fucking meteorite or whatever it was. I went into space. Didn't know you could do that. The Game Boy Advance game was my childhood game. You had to connect with someone else. I didn't have anyone else, did I?
I didn't have anyone else.
So here I am. In space. It's a bit shite, innit? A bit shite. Anyway, look, this robot's serving. FYI, whatever you do, everyone, don't finish the game with your motives nearly empty, or this happens. The Sims 2 is the third game of a collection of 3 handheld games, but as we all know, each one is its own little story that take place in Strange Town. The Game Boy Advance version, however, Pooh is the star of a reality show, Strange Town, and there are lots of people who don't know they are on a show, whereas in The Sims 2DS, our Pooh runs a hotel in Strange Town, and there are lots of people that stay in a hotel and live in Strange Town. What you're all doing in my DS? Before we start, honourable mention, Detective Dandyman, or Sheriff in this case. You can't be arsed doing out. I'll begin with the man himself, Daddy Big Bucks. Although in this game you can't directly interact with the bloke. He's the one who orchestrates the whole thing. I'm the one who knocks in it, love. He has the little talking shite bit at the beginning. We get a bit of daddy lore, for example. He's got 6 ex-wives, and none of them were as attractive as Kaylee Wintercrest. And it said he was going to be the original owner of the hotel in the DS game, but who knows? In my heart, it was Daddy. Ending the game either on his lonely at the top type shit with the hottie tea and the alien prosy, or taken. But what can I say about him that I haven't already said? He's a cool antagonist, a gamer, Daddy B is streaming Fall Guys, everyone. And he's got a funny voice in it. I'm Daddy Big Bucks. So, in the cool category he goes. Speaking of big bucks, his son, Luther L. Big Bucks. His son is in The Sims 2. I mean, there's not much to say about him here. He has been downgraded. He is boring. In this game, his secret's revealed to be that he was kicked out of his dad's house for being too frugal. The only interesting thing he did was have a tear brought to his eye by the mummy. Boring. The initial person we meet in Strange Town Game Boy Advance Edition is Dusty Hog. This version of Dusty Hog, I don't like. I don't know, he seems off. It's just not the same. Maybe it's because he's like a mummy's boy. Oh, I don't have a curfew anymore. You're in your 60s. It gives me the ick. He has his moments, though. His secret being he believes the fewer the wheels on the vehicle, the bigger the man wants a unicycle. But even then, he's only funny when he's disguised as an alien. Mate, you fell off. Dusty Hog, you're ickable. Leading me to discussing the only woman tough enough to keep Dusty in line. His mother, Mama Hog. Mrs. Helen Hog. She's cool. She's just chilling. I don't even know if she works at the Nuki plant with Kaylee. But this icon is just existing in and around Strange Town. Look at her bedroom. And why is Jeb's bedroom next to hers? Do you think they're going through a rough patch? Also, the way she fancies Tristan and Honest is like, stay out of this, Miss Hog. Icon. Waiting all those years to make dinosaur soup. You're cool, Mama Hog. The first character we meet in the DS game is Jebediah S. Jerky. He says he'll fix our car for us. Thanks, I guess. Doesn't do naff all though. But he's such a cool guy, mixing a bottle of green goo in the sand to see what happens. Talks about the poop quota and gives me poo. And says, Amar.
Amar. Amar. Amar.
Just squelches his way around Strangetown. But I don't want to see him without his pet though. A top tier bloke, nevertheless. Honest Jackson, the mayor of Strangetown, secretly writing romance novels. And one of the main roles in this game is making Arpo sabotage all of Kaylee Wintercrest's potential suitors so he can have her all to himself. They don't call me Honest for nothing. He's a knobhead, selling the dinosaur bones online, but he's a cool character. He's a bit of a loser, but a cool one. Giuseppe. Oh, how the mighty have fallen, eh? B-Tech Giuseppe, innit? His secret is that he was replaced by a robot in the last game. Huh? I mean, he's kinda cute playing with the paddle ball.
Wait, an authentic Boink brand paddle ball?
And all he does is sell me a splatter shot that he had since he was a little brat. A little what? But the way he acts with Tristan Legend. Give me the robot back. Giuseppe, you're ickable. Now on to the legend himself. Tristan Legend. Like, I mean, he's kind of likeable in the DS version, being sad and pathetic, building shit for us. But we can't forget that we had to beg him to fix Oppie Alfred. I'll do it myself rather than beg for you, you twat. He treated our Giuseppe like a piece of shit, and he looks like pissing Tom Scarvo. He's supposed to be 35. His only redeeming quality that he is the one who built Optimum Alfred. Even that isn't enough to remove him from the abysmal tier. The first antagonist that we meet in The Sims 2 DS is Frankie Fusilli. What a cool character. Like in the Game Boy Advance version, he's got this cool underground house. He's like a cool bloke and pisses off Honest Jackson, tries to kill Honest Jackson, builds a vault where you can print money. Just a bloke doing things, isn't he? Which is why he's in the cool tier. Ara Fusilli, on the other hand, smart, sassy, and terminally bored daughter of Frankie Fusilli. Like, if you've got your dad's name in your bio, you must be boring. Why are there so many parent and child duos in this game? Anyway, bye. Jimmy the Neck. Frankie Fusilli's bodyguard, however. I guess in the DS game he's scary, but in the Game Boy Advance game, he's a right softy. A Prudence softy, as it were, asking us to avert his eyes so he may suffer his shame in silence. Oh, he's a proper good mate, running around Strangetown with us, getting scrap metal, giving me his family heirloom, the splatter shot. He's great. I mean, he does chuck us in the slammer, but I deserved it. And his secret is he teaches jazz and ragtime piano to children in his spare time. Top tier for a top bloke. Abracadabra. Abracadabra Lady Gaga. The second antagonist in The Sims 2 DS. We first meet her in the Urbz as a cashier in the second Lux Emporium. But she also used to be a drummer in Vera Vex's band, The Germinators. One of the lesbians that we ask if they want any perfume to attract men, to which she replies, I'm not that desperate. You know, she's so bloody cool. And you know what puts her in that top tier category? She makes a bloody cow cult, that is all. Known as Horus Menhuset, the 9th in the DS game, and just Mummy in the GBA game. He appears after instructing us to destroy Ava's bovine shrine, but mostly it's just chilling by the pool in complete agony. Initially, I hated this bastard because intimidating was a pain in the arse, but I've grown to love the chap. The way he hobbles around town, the way he stole stuff from the citizens, because he was lonely. How can you hate him? Look, we can even grab ourselves a cheeky scratch card. Life of Paul, innit, loves? So you know what? Whatever your name is, I love you. Proper good in it. The final antagonist of the DS game, oh, you already know. Optimum Alfred, my beloved. Proper good in it. He is 30, flirty and thriving. Alfred's design is based on Miss Gyrotic Machine from the Sims Bustin Out console version. You know, that robot bitch who makes Malcolm Landgrab piss himself or something. I can't remember. Wait, everyone. Is this Optimum Alfred? Have I just made Optimum Alfred? Optimum Alfred, my beloved. So he get Malcolm to come round and get Optimum Alfred to attack him. But, well, he just wets himself, doesn't he? But he's also the robot monkey butler from The Sims Bustin Out and the Urbz. Hell yeah, little Oppie. But he's so cool. He's got that stupid spinny midget hat and calls Lord Mole a bugger. Although I may kill him in both the DS and GBA game, it was only because the powers of the bee were flowing through me. Optimum Alfred has such depth and lore, such a meaty character, probably the best in the Sims 2 universe, so that's why he's going in the proper good init category. Speaking of the little bugger, Lord Mole, ruler of the subterranean race of mole people. He's a feisty lad with utopian dreams. I mean, his story does conclude with playing whack-a-mole with mole and people. It's kind of funny, but you're kind of boring, fella. You don't even really like me, poo. TM. Sosh, you're boring, love. In the DS game, Emperor Zizzle assists us in defeating Oppie Alfie. He's such a cool little guy in general though. And up there with Alfie as one of the best characters in all these games. Look, he's even the main fella in the intro. He's so cool. From his design, the way he speaks. He goes invisible, and in the end, he even becomes the mayor of Strangetown and dances. If that isn't deserving of top tier, I don't know what is. Which brings me on to Burple, Emperor Zizzle's son. Not really, but maybe. We were introduced to this bloke on the brat toilet. You know he's got to go top tier. What else can I say except, why are you so obsessed with the bog? Burple, you bloody brilliant bratty bastard. Beloved Bigfoot now. He is so cool and cute. It's Bigfoot, innit? We have to massage his feet. That much feet get very stinky. His secret, he'd prefer to go by Stu. Well, Stu, put him in the top tier. Put him in the top tier. Yeti, however, he's kind of boring. It's just Bigfoot. Wait, Stu. But like a Yeti. But I tell you what, we're given a little doll to give to Bigfoot, which is kind of sweet. But Bigfoot is still superior. We massaged his feet. So that's it for the main characters that starred in the DS game. The rest of the characters are merely guests at the Strangetown Hotel. But the Sims 2 Game Boy Advance is where they get to somewhat shine. Peppa Pete, we obviously cosplayed him and subsequently met him in the Urbz DS. There's a statue of him for some reason, and he likes garlic and hates pepper, and that's enough for me to put him in the cool category. He was happy to see me again. I love him. Tank Grunt, Tanky Wanky. Wait, no. Which most people will know from the PC/PSP game, but I love Tank Grunt, although he may sport a Stone Island badge. He has many great moments in the game, from being impersonated by an alien at various points in the game, advertising new Cherry Guava King Chug Chug Cooler, look, hiding in the Yeti's cave at the reunion episode. The only reason he's not in the top tier is because I thought he was a bit weird watching Arafie Silly. I kind of went off him a bit, but he's still a cool character with a lot going on. His fucking face is tattooed on. Oh yeah, and I learned that you can wave in this game because of him. I love. Also, he has a scratch card too. Kaylee or Kaylee. Various different ways to spell this queen's name within the game. Kaylee Wintercrest. Nuki S. Nuclear scientist, for those who do not know. She's got brains and beauty, is pretty much a main character of this game. Starring in many episodes, I certainly have grown to love her. From all the eligible bachelors of Strangetown falling in love with her, from the sniff of her perfume, to a line that I enjoy. I'm running a business here, not an orphanage. What the hell does that mean? Says Mama Hog. I ain't got a clue, love. I love her. And that's why she's going in the top tier. Older Sheriff, I don't know. Simon Cowell, as I like to call him, assumes he can get a date with our Kaylee, calls Pete Peppy. He's like, do you know who I am? What? The only interesting thing that he's done was being in Ava's cult. Abysmal. Another character who was hypnotised is Sancho Paco Panza. He's kind of boring. But what put him in the ickable category? He charged me for the fly spray even though he'd already had some. Like, I bet he didn't even order it. Rip off twat any. Like, imagine the only thing interesting about you is that you live with Bigfoot. Get a life. Kent Hackett. The abysmal Kent Hackett. Says it all, really. He's ugly, steals all the nuki rods, sets the warehouse on fire, forces Jeb to sell his farm, steal our Kaylee's job. Mate, you're a washed up movie star, aren't you? Kent Hackett, more like can't hack it. In the bin. Abysmal. Penelope Red, or that ginger bitch as I jovially refer to her, like an FBI agent or something. And initially I didn't like her, but as time has progressed, I've grown to love this ginger bitch. From a saying,
I'd rather hand wash my socks than help you lose the big bucks.
and this weird thing she does with her voice.
You'll be Viv Geeky.
She's kind of an icon. The only thing that stopped her from being top tier is that she told our Jeb to piss off. I didn't like that. So you're only cool, love. And finally, Misty Waters. I'm a big Misty Waters stan, but in my opinion, her character is such a downgrade here. Also, her being jealous of Kaylee Wintercrest, it gives me the ick. And slagging my Arpo off. Oh, if you play with Polly Pockets, you need to use retinol every day. Piss off. Let's all boo Misty Waters. You're ickable. For you. That was good, wasn't it? 100 characters I ranked there. Bloody hell. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, they're all fictional characters, and my opinion, the correct opinion. I won't be doing a ranking video to this extent again. It was supposed to be so easy. So I take back the DVD. If you want me to rank the My Sims characters, let me know. But I'll do it later. Can't be arsed now. I promise it won't be so long till my next upload. I thought I was doing an easy vid. Forgetting I'm playing 4 games, doing extensive research about all these twats, and then doing all this editing. Oh, I'm a glutton for punishment. Thanks for watching. Lots of love. Bye bye.